We are going to continue the briefing. Thank you, Jake, for joining us. The president will have more members down here today. He could certainly have more members down here tomorrow, and we will keep you abreast of all of those. But he has flexibility in his schedule to ensure that he can make those calls, he can invite people into the Oval Office, and obviously this is a top priority to keep moving his agenda forward in advance of his trip. I would also say that there are phones on Air Force One and also in Europe. And so he will continue to be engaged even as we move to the trip.
How is the president going to go about talking about this? It's going to definitely loom large if there isn't a deal by the time he gets on that plane on Thursday.
Well, I would just echo a little bit of what my colleague Jake Sullivan said, which is these global leaders are sophisticated. They're familiar themselves, although they all have different systems, with how you legislate here in the United States. They watch closely. They know that it can take some time. And what the president is going to go to the G20 and COP26 with is either agreement, which, as he said, is his preference, or a commitment to continue to press forward on what will be the largest investment in addressing the climate crisis in U.S. history, 6 times the size of the Recovery Act, which would be the second largest investment in climate in history, and a commitment to do everything he can through executive action and through working with the private sector. So global leaders, I think the point Jake was making is that global leaders understand that it can be a lengthy and messy process, bills becoming a law here in the United States, and also they have seen the president raise up climate as an issue that is a central priority for him in his presidency.
Would it be easier to convince the rest of the world to adopt these aggressive climate change proposals if he went there with the U.S. having done so already?
Well, Ed, as the president has said, it would be his preference. Yes, that's why we're pressing so hard. That's why the president has space in his schedule to move forward and move his economic agenda forward. But it is also important to note that we have made a significant amount of progress, and we are almost there, and that the president is on the verge. We are all on the verge of passing a bill that is the largest investment in addressing the climate crisis in history. And of course, global leaders take note of that too.